Welcome everybody, it's Telem, and in this video we are going to be talking about the possible storyline for Infinite Warfare Zombies DLC 2. And I'm not just grabbing things out of thin air or just from hints from previous maps, because we really don't have that many, except the fact that we saw our characters jump out of Subway, and of course all the ending cutscene to Rave in the Redwoods, which were probably also going to be in the 80s. So besides that, we actually got some really cool information from Lee Ross that he's been giving out for a couple weeks now. It's pretty darn interesting, but keep in mind this is just me trying to connect the dots to try to figure out what is exactly happening inside the story of DLC 2, but I could be mistaken. I might connect a dot where it's not supposed to be, or keep that all in mind. But regardless, I am very confident in this idea for the storyline inside DLC 2. So without further delay, let's actually get into this. So a couple of weeks ago, Lee Ross had been teasing this name that he took a while to actually reveal, and the name actually turned out to be Arthur McIntosh. I'm probably going to be calling him McIntosh, but just keep in mind I'm saying McIntosh. Well, that's at least what I'm trying to say. But anyways, people tried to find this person in real life to see if he was a real person, but he turned out not to be a real person, so he had to be someone original from the game, which we all assume now. And then people started saying he was other playable character that we're going to be playing as, like someone who was like David Hasselhoff in Zombies in Spaceland or Kevin Smith in Rave in the Redwood. But we actually know this isn't the case, because Arthur is probably a guy's name. I know this is in the 80s. I don't know if it was a girl's name back then, but it probably wasn't. So it is a guy's name, but we already been revealed, well, Lee Ross already revealed that it's actually going to be a she inside the next DLC. We don't know who it is specifically, but we do know it's a girl. So I'm pretty sure it's not Arthur or anything like that, but it is going to be someone different. So this is probably going to be somebody who's already inside the map. Now let's just get some background for Arthur. So Arthur is probably a business person because of a couple of quotes he says, and we know for sure it's inside one of the images we'll get to in just a second. But first things first, let me just read you off some of these quotes that Lee Ross also tweeted out. So one of them says, "Success can be found. You just gotta be willing to lose everything along the way to find it." Then we have another one that says, "We must seize every opportunity. Our future is full of potential, even when things appear to be at their darkest." And the last one that pretty much confirms it: "I founded this company and I'll take it in whatever direction I see fit." Maybe I should just started with that one because it kind of just confirmed it. I just had to read that one. But anyways, regardless, he's a business person. He owns a company and founded this company at that, and a really powerful company that which we will be seeing in just seconds. So I'll show you guys an image on screen right now, and as you can see, there's this headline. It says stock prices plummet, suspicion of internal corruption at McIntosh and McIntosh. So that's probably his company, so because that's his last name, McIntosh, so McIntosh and McIntosh. But as we can see, graph of the economy actually going down. So we don't know if this is just for his city or for the whole country he's from, but even if it is just the city, that's a pretty powerful company to make it just from your actions to cause a whole stock market to go down like that. And because of the stock market going down and crashing like that, bad things are going to happen, and we're going to actually see inside this next one. So the main thing we see on this next image that Lee Ross also gave out, it says McIntosh investigation underway, and that is interesting at all. But the main thing I want to grab your attention to is actually to the right of this screen, and it says crime wave sweeps. Of course, it probably continues there, but that's what we can see. But we do know for sure that there has been a lot of crime, and that makes sense because people are out of money. They really need money. They need to make money somehow, and so they start stealing. And because of this, you could imagine that the city or wherever he's from is completely in ruins. Now that is a kind of a big of assumption that the whole city is going to be in ruins because of all this crime, but I think it's justified because you can't really have a zombies map inside a nice city. It just doesn't fit zombies normally, so it would make more sense if the city is in ruins or something like that. So it would make more sense. Now that is an assumption. Of course, it doesn't have to be in ruins. We've seen this like in Zombies in Spaceland that wasn't in ruins at all, and it was perfectly fine as a zombies map. So either way, it doesn't matter, but it just sounds better to me if the city's in ruins because of all the crime. But why is exactly all this happening? Why is there some corruption inside McIntosh and McIntosh's company? And I actually believe we get an answer to this from other quotes that Lee Ross also tweeted out, and they're also from Arthur McIntosh, where it says, "As we get older, we realize money isn't the most valuable asset in life. Time is, and I want more of it, lots more." And another one that says, "What are we but micro moments in time? What if we could expand that, make it infinite? I'd want in on that." So just by looking at this, we can also assume, and remember this is another one of those assumptions, but it does make sense if Arthur went and took from his own company to try to do some weird voodoo to get time to freeze or get stuck in some weird time loop or something like that. It would make sense if he would do that, because as we can see, he really looks like he's scared of maybe dying of something, and then he just realized he wants more time. So like I said, he's going to be doing some weird voodoo stuff to try to make that time last longer, like he said in his last one, to make it infinite. it. So this would be a pretty interesting idea, because if he tries to maybe freeze time or a time loop, then it'd be a pretty cool idea for zombies, because I know Treyarch has been trying the time loop thing before, and I don't think they do the time loop thing right at all. I'm actually not a fan of their method of the time loop, but if they could go and do their own way of doing it, I'd be so interested in that and how they would go about doing that to make a time loop or even a frozen time map. Maybe just the time around it is frozen or something, just something like that, because obviously we could tell that this guy doesn't want time to continue. So if he freezes it or keeps it repeating in the same time, even though freezing it would probably make more sense to him, either way it'd be a very interesting idea to see what exactly happens. So that is the general idea of what's going to be going down this, and as you guys could probably assume, Arthur McIntosh seems like he's also going to be the boss if this is true, because we'd probably want to stop him from keeping this frozen time for we could escape. We'll have to see though. Of course, like I mentioned multiple times inside this video, this is just a bunch of different ideas of me connecting the dots. Of course, I could be mistaken, but tell me what you guys think about all this. Would you like this to be true like me? Because I'd be super hyped if I got this right. That'd be so cool if I got all of this right, but I don't know, we'll have to see. But if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and thumbs up. If you guys want to stay tuned for content similar to this, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to go, and I will catch you guys on my next video.